Pretty sure all of you are familiar with memes. Well, one topic of memes that I see a lot happens to be OCD, which is also my topic. In my speech today, I'll be looking to clarify what OCD truly is, the different types of OCD there are, and how OCD affects different individuals in different ways. I'll be looking to inform you through the research that I've done, the psychology class I've taken, and through years of living with OCD. OCD, which is short for obsessive compulsive disorder, is a mental disorder in which people have unwanted and repeated thoughts, feelings, and ideas or sensations that drive them to do compulsions, which they do over and over again. OCD can also be broken up into two categories, which are, again, obsessions and compulsions. Obsessions are defined by Associate Professor of Psychiatry at Flinders University, Michael Bygent, as the presence or thoughts that can cause a person significant stress or disability. Obsessions are also persistent and uncontrollable and can oftentimes lead to compulsions. The reasoning that this happens is that obsessive thoughts can create brief anxiety in people, which compulsions provide temporary relief for. There are 5 common categories of OCD that people fall under. The first 4 categories are labeled as washers, checkers, doubters, and hoarders. Washers are those who are afraid of contamination and are constantly seen washing their hands in order to get rid of germs that they believe are constantly there. Checkers repeatedly check things and do different things such as flick a light switch multiple times. Doubters are those who are afraid that negative things will happen if you don't do things a certain way. And hoarders are those who don't want to throw things away because they feel that bad things will also happen. The 5th category is the one that I've singled out and I'm going to talk about because it's the one I suffer from, which is labeled as a counter and arranger. Examples of this that I could draw from my personal life is that I constantly count things out in my head, such as words that I see, and I add them up until I get to a number that makes me feel comfortable. Another thing I do is that when I'm eating things with multiple items, such as like M&Ms or Skittles, I'll eat them in multiples of different numbers, which is usually 5 for some reason. I personally only know one other person that has OCD, which happens to be my cousin, and that made me feel that OCD isn't as common as I thought it was. But here's some facts and figures. 2.3% of the population actually suffers from OCD, and that may seem like a small number, but that's an estimated 3.3 million people. And according to Ronald C. Kessler, an American sociologist and professor at Harvard Medical School, that's more than the amount of people that suffer from schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. OCD is also a very difficult condition to live with. According to Christopher Murray, a researcher in global health and public health at the University of Washington, Seattle, OCD is one of the 10 most debilitating illnesses or disorders around the globe. OCD is also a disorder that is that demonstrates resistance to treatment, with 40% of individuals not responding to first-line treatments such as therapy. OCD has also been linked to substance abuse and depression by a professor of health and society, Susan B. Sorensen. As with most things in this world, OCD affects different people differently. Each person has a different frequency or impact of how obsessive they feel. For example, I also experienced a thing where I have to touch things with both arms to make it feel more comfortable, and I find myself doing this very often. But when I look at my cousin, who also suffers from this, she doesn't do it as often as I do. And this is also stated by Dr. Monica Williams, who treats people who have OCD, that some people can spend up to 10 hours a day performing these rituals that make them feel comfortable. And also, according to Dr. Monica Williams, the frequency that people experience things at can change for them differently throughout the day. Another thing that Dr. Monica Williams says is that things don't have to correlate in order for them to make you feel weird. Such as if one day you almost get in a car accident, the next day something else could make you feel uncomfortable because of the slightest link, such as if you're holding a knife, it will present danger to you, which will make you feel more uncomfortable. These facts and examples show why OCD is one of the common disorders that leads to disability in people. The effect of OCD and the different types that people have make it difficult for each person to be diagnosed, but still there are millions of people living with this. I hope that today I was able to inform you of what OCD is and clarify any misconceptions you might have had, and to show how it